Hey, it's VR Brander, I'm back. Well, people say read books and you will become smart and successful in life. I'm here to tell you that that's a big myth, okay? Because usually people that are self-interested tell you to read books. Authors tell you to read books. Podcasters tell you to listen to podcasts. Bloggers tell you to read blogs, right? I mean, they're just promoting whatever they're doing. They know it's bullshit, right? I mean, some of them do, I guess. And some of them are just ignorant. The thing is, you don't really need to read anything, okay? People say that, oh, look, the very successful people read books all the time. They read a book a week or read a book every few days, a new book. Okay. They have it backwards, actually. They have it backwards. My mouth is quite dry today. I don't know. I should have drank some water before I went out. But anyway, let's continue. They have it backwards because people that read a lot and are successful are not successful because they read a lot. They are successful because they're curious by nature. They're very curious and they try to learn new things all the time because that's their nature. They love to learn. So they can't just go around asking people what they think because most people don't know what they're talking about. Most people's opinion is worthless. So what they do is they read books by experts on certain subjects. They read books. That's what they do. It's their nature to be curious. And if you're curious, you have a high probability of being successful in life. Just be curious. They're not successful because they read books. They're successful because they're curious, okay? So you don't need to read anything in life from this day forward. If you want to be successful in business, specifically in business, there's only 3 things you need to know. And these 3 things are, first of all, you need to be in the right industry. If you just want to be let's say, a garden variety millionaire, a few million a year, you can pick almost any industry you want. Almost any industry. Okay? And if you're persistent and you have the 3rd thing that I will talk about in this video, you will become a millionaire. Very likely. But if you really want to make it successful in life, then you have to pick the right industry. You have to pick the industry that has produced the most billionaires up to date. This might change, obviously, but I think it's pretty safe to say in our lifetime, this will probably stay the same, okay? So just research which industries have produced the most billionaires up to date. And I can tell you, there's probably a few of them, but there's 3 top ones. Financial industry, real estate, and big plays on the internet. Big plays, not small little diming stuff like Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. So big plays, your own websites, your own thing that you do. Big plays. And once you take them public or you sell them to a competitor that needs your technology, then you made it big. So that's it. You need to pick the right industry to be extremely successful. Just moderately successful, you can probably pick any industry, but to be really successful, hectamillionaire or billionaire, you have to pick the right industry. Second thing you have to do is you have to reverse engineer from your goal back. What does that mean? Well, what you do is, let's say you want to earn, like I talked about before, let's say you want to earn $1 million a year, and if you want a detailed plan how to earn $1 million a year, I have a video called How to Earn $1 million a Year. So just Google it, just search it, and you'll find it. It's very detailed. It includes math, so be prepared. You have to reverse engineer from your goal back. Let's say you have a goal of earning $1 million a year. You have to reverse engineer from that goal and come to the action you need to take, the amount of action you need to take each day to achieve that goal in the end, in a certain amount of time that you set yourself. The shorter the time, the more action you're going to have to take each day. The longer the time, the less. But that's basically how you do it. You have to know how much action you need to take each day, because if you don't know, you're going to miss the goal. For sure you're going to miss it. And then you have to stick to that action every single day. Okay, so third thing is you have to have a big enough pipeline sending you prospects, so you can become successful financially. You have to have a big enough pipeline bringing you prospects. There's different types of pipelines. Pipeline just means, pipeline just means that you're producing prospects in large enough numbers to achieve your goal. And the thing is that certain different industries can garner different pipelines, different amount of prospect that you can garner from them. I'll give you an example, okay? I love kite surfing, right? I really enjoy it. I've been kite surfing now for 4 years almost, and I love it so much that I wanted to start my own kite surfing brand, produce kites, produce all the other equipment, produce apparel, under my own brand. And I researched the market, and I found out that the market is not very big. The market has been in existence for, 15 years or even more. Yeah, probably a lot more actually. So the market has been up for a long time since they first started kite surfing. But still, the market of new buyers and old buyers is not very big. I mean, it's in the hundreds of thousands per year, not even millions. So it's below a million, a lot below a million units sold per year. A lot below. So, that market has a ceiling, a quite abrupt ceiling. And I wasn't deterred by that, because I know that probably my branding would win out at the end, and I could, take quite a significant chunk out of the market. But what I did, I said, okay, the market is small, but I really like this space, and I really love the sport. So let's test it and see what kind of response I get. So what I did is I tested the market. I made a few prototypes, and I put them online. I made a website. I made a website. My people made a website, and they put stuff on Amazon. They put stuff on eBay with good pictures. They shot the pictures. I have a friend who's very good at kite surfing, much better than I am. He's almost a pro, but he's not making any money from it. But his skills are almost at pro level, and I just paid him, for the day, and he did tricks, and they shot him with the camera Obviously, they didn't shoot him with a gun. You know, they made a few videos of him and made a few pictures, so we can put it on the website and on eBay and Amazon. And I tested the market, and my people made a few videos on YouTube. You know, just basically sort of clickbait videos to see if people would actually, you know, if some people would buy, you know, from all these sources, from Amazon, from eBay, from YouTube, you know, from our own site. And the test revealed after 2 months of testing, almost 2 months, wasn't really 2 months, but you know, it was close to 2 months. After 2 months of testing, it revealed that the products that we were pitching, which were innovative in a way, and the prices were really really good, there wasn't much biting, you know. People, there were a few pre-orders, but not enough to say, okay, this has potential. We also changed the messaging a few times, you know, to see if our messaging is wrong, to see if our branding or our positioning is wrong. We changed it, if I remember correctly, they changed it 3 times, but the second time was the best. It garnered the most prospects and most pre-sales, but it wasn't enough to actually say, okay, this is something worth pursuing. So we dropped it. And the videos that you can see on this channel, if you go back, you will see those videos that our people made, just simple, you know, under a minute videos that would garner some clicks and maybe some, you know, pre-orders. You know, the videos did the worst, obviously. You know, the Amazon did the best, eBay was the second, website was the third, and the videos were the worst. So that's how it was. And they opted for sort of clickbaity titles because, you know, it garners the most clicks, and you can have a good enough statistical, probability, you know. Like, if it just garners a few hundred clicks, you don't really know if the data you're getting is accurate. But if you get, like I did, well, I'm talking about I, but you know, it's really them. What they did garnered almost 90,000 views, and we got a few orders from that. If I remember correctly, that was a year ago, so I don't know. I think it was about 3 or 4 orders, pre-orders. So it wasn't very successful. So the market is small, and we tested it and we proved that it's not worth going into. Okay, so that's it. See, certain markets don't have a big enough pipeline to get you to your goal. So you need to enter markets that you can garner a big enough pipeline to reach your goal. You know, whatever your goal is. If it's $1 billion, you would have to garner a lot of prospects. You know, if it's $1 billion, you will probably have to, you know, raise capital from the public and get money that way and provide certain services, if you know what I mean. So that's it. 3 things. Like I said, you don't need to read any business books. You can just follow what I'm telling you here. You won't read anything new if you read 100 books from now on. So that's it. Big enough pipeline, reverse engineer from your goal back, and enter the right industry. Okay? That's it. So see you next time. Cheers.